Walmart's ice cream aisle may look inviting, but what's inside the carton tells a different story. Beneath sleek packaging and promises of indulgence lies a frozen formula built for cost efficiency, not flavor. The use of artificial stabilizers, corn syrup solids, and synthetic emulsifiers has turned what should be a simple, nostalgic treat into a lab-crafted dessert engineered for shelf life and profit margins.
Don't get fooled by the label. Subscribe now to uncover what's really behind your favorite brands. And get the truth Big Food doesn't want you to see.
And they're not the only ones. Kroger, Safeway, Aldi, and Target follow similar models, trading real cream and egg yolks for fillers and air, offering ice cream that looks rich but tastes thin, melts oddly, and leaves nothing behind but disappointment. That disappointment comes from more than bland texture. It's a symptom of an industry that's let convenience eclipse care. These major chains have shifted their focus from honest ingredients to marketing gloss, redefining luxury with terms like deluxe and super premium while cutting corners behind the scenes. But there's another way. Stores like Costco and Trader Joe's prove that real ice cream, dense, creamy, made with 5 or 6 simple ingredients, is still within reach. This video is a reminder that good food doesn't need gimmicks. It just needs to be real. Stop eating ice cream from these 5 grocery store brands. Seriously. Because what's sitting in your freezer right now might look sweet and innocent, but the truth underneath that glossy container is far from harmless. What used to be a simple dessert made from milk, cream, sugar, and maybe a few egg yolks has turned into a chemical experiment. Stabilizers, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, corn syrup solids. These are the new standard ingredients in the frozen aisle. And the worst part? You wouldn't even know unless you flipped over the container and read the fine print. Start with Walmart, one of the biggest grocery chains in the country and one of the most problematic when it comes to frozen dessert integrity. Their ice cream brands have come under fire for safety issues, including a Listeria recall that put consumer health at real risk. But even when there isn't a headline-grabbing recall, the ice cream itself is a major letdown. What you're actually getting is more filler than flavor. Real cream? Rare. Corn syrup, mono and diglycerides, cellulose gum, everywhere. It's engineered to be cheap, to survive long hauls in trucks, and to sit in freezers for months without melting oddly or losing shape. But it doesn't taste like ice cream. It tastes like cold sugar foam with a hint of freezer burn. Then there's Kroger. Their store-brand ice creams, especially those labeled deluxe or private selection, might sound high-end, but they're textbook examples of deceptive marketing. These products lean hard into the language of luxury, but the ingredient lists tell a very different story. What you find is the same industrial toolbox: polysorbate, 80 for texture, artificial flavorings to fake complexity, and high air content to make it look like you're getting more than you are. The creaminess? It's an illusion. The richness? Artificial. These products are designed to be uniform, durable, and cheap, not delicious. Target falls into the same trap. Their in-house labels like Favorite Day showcase cute branding, trendy packaging, and buzzwords like premium and indulgent. But the contents inside are processed just like the rest. With controlled rheology techniques, their ice creams are pumped full of air, stabilized with synthetic ingredients, and flavored with chemicals that are meant to mimic what real vanilla or strawberry should taste like. It's engineered for predictability, not pleasure. When you eat it, there's no richness, no lasting depth, no real dairy complexity, just a cold, fluffy product that disappears from your tongue and your memory almost immediately. Safeway's store brands are no better. Whether it's Signature Select or another label under their umbrella, these products lean on industrial formulations that emphasize overrun and shelf stability. That means more air, more additives, and less of what actually matters: cream, milk, and flavor. The result? Ice cream that scoops easily, melts predictably, and tastes like nothing. There's no satisfaction, no emotional connection, just a hollow bite of convenience food that's been stripped of its soul in favor of mass production efficiency. And then there's Aldi, known for its affordability, yes, but that low price comes with compromises. Aldi's ice creams often use the same filler-heavy formulas that dominate the budget tier frozen section. They include modified food starch, synthetic thickeners, and artificial emulsifiers to create uniform texture and visual appeal, but the flavors fall flat. The sweetness is cloying, the mouthfeel is thin, and the experience is as forgettable as the packaging. You're not getting value, you're getting volume with zero satisfaction. What all 5 of these stores have in common is the same industrial playbook: more additives, fewer real ingredients, and a priority on consistency and shelf life over genuine flavor. These brands cater to scale. They're built for distribution, for marketing, for cost cutting. They're not built for you, and definitely not for anyone who cares about what goes into their body. These ice creams are food-like products, not real food. They're made to trick your senses just long enough to get you to buy another tub. But once you start paying attention, once you taste the difference, you can't go back. That's where Costco and Trader Joe's come in. Two stores doing things differently. Two stores proving that ice cream doesn't have to be fake, synthetic, or hollow. They've chosen a different path, one that respects the customer and the craft. Costco doesn't just buy anything for its shelves. Their private label Kirkland ice creams are made with strict sourcing, limited ingredients, and an emphasis on traditional formulation: cream, milk, sugar, eggs, real ingredients. That's it. No filler, no strange gums or stabilizers. The result is ice cream that's denser, creamier, and actually flavorful. It's what ice cream is supposed to taste like: rich, satisfying, honest, and you feel it immediately because the texture is fuller, the taste lingers, and the scoop has weight. It doesn't collapse into foam. It melts with grace. Trader Joe's operates with the same values: small batch processes, short ingredient lists, carefully curated flavors. They don't flood their freezers with 30 varieties. They offer a focused range, and every one of them tastes like it was made by someone who cared. Their ice creams rely on real dairy, natural mix-ins, and minimal processing. You're not left guessing what you just ate. You know, because the flavor is full, the texture is clean, and the experience feels nostalgic, not manufactured. These two stores prove that you can still have indulgence without compromise, that you can still buy frozen desserts that make you feel good, not just because they taste great, but because they're honest. They show that simplicity still wins, that food made with real ingredients, traditional methods, and respect for the customer doesn't have to be a luxury. It just has to be a priority. And yes, you might pay a little more, but what you're buying isn't just ice cream. It's peace of mind. It's real food. It's satisfaction that doesn't disappear after the spoon hits the bottom. It's something worth savoring, not just consuming. So no, don't keep buying the frozen nonsense being pumped out by Walmart, Kroger, Target, Safeway, or Aldi. Don't keep settling for chemical-laced, air-puffed flavorless filler disguised as dessert. Start holding your food, and the stores that sell it, to a higher standard, because this isn't just about ice cream. It's about trust, about integrity, about the small daily choices that add up to something bigger. Choosing real food is one of the most basic, powerful forms of self-respect, and it starts in the frozen aisle with what you put in your cart. If this hit home, if you've ever opened a tub of deluxe ice cream only to taste disappointment, hit that like button, drop a comment with the worst grocery store ice cream you've had, or share your favorite real deal flavor from Costco or Trader Joe's. Tag a friend who needs to clean out their freezer, and hit subscribe, because this conversation doesn't end here. There's more to expose, more to celebrate, and a lot more food truth on the way. We're not finished, because the truth about grocery store ice cream runs deeper than just cheap ingredients and clever branding. This is about the systematic erosion of quality, and how food that used to bring people together, that used to mean something, has been hollowed out by industrial shortcuts and corporate indifference. These 5 stores, Walmart, Kroger, Target, Safeway, and Aldi, aren't just selling mediocre ice cream. They're selling fake comfort. They're offering you a product that pretends to be indulgent, nostalgic, rich, but when you dig in, it's nothing but texture engineering and artificial sweetness. They've taken the most joyful dessert on the planet and reduced it to shelf-stable sludge. Let's go back to Walmart for a moment. Think about what that Listeria recall represented. It wasn't just a safety slip-up. It was the inevitable result of a system that values mass production over cleanliness, cost-cutting over quality control, and even when there isn't a recall, the ingredients tell you everything. There's barely any cream in some of their ice cream products, just a slurry of low-cost milk derivatives, corn syrup, and chemical stabilizers, designed to keep it solid even when left out of the freezer for hours. That's not food, that's frozen plastic. And Kroger, this is a store that loves to hide behind labels like private selection, deluxe and rich and creamy, but take 5 seconds seconds to look at what's actually in the tub, you'll see mono and diglycerides, artificial colors, carrageenan, and high fructose corn syrup. What they call deluxe is just standard filler-packed frozen foam. They want you to believe you're indulging when all you're doing is spooning through stabilizers and whipped air. Target isn't doing any better. Their flashy designs and trendy-sounding flavors are nothing but distraction. Favorite Day and Archer Farms both promise premium flavor, but inside, it's the same processed formula as the other chains. Controlled texture, high overrun, artificial emulsifiers, and chemical flavoring agents that mimic the taste of cookie dough, vanilla bean, or espresso, but never quite get it right. It's mass-produced sweetness with no depth, a dessert made in a lab to hit your tongue the same way every time, even if it leaves no impression. Safeway, with its signature Select line, pushes the illusion of gourmet, but this is the same story, a product made for consistency, not flavor. Their manufacturing relies on precise chemical ratios, not quality ingredients, to keep every scoop stable and uniform. It's an edible illusion. It scoops like ice cream. It looks like ice cream, but it doesn't melt like real cream. It doesn't coat the mouth with richness. It disappears quickly, leaving behind a chemical aftertaste, and the subtle disappointment of something that could have been better if anyone had cared. And Aldi? This one stings for people who love a deal. Yes, it's affordable. Yes, it's simple. But when it comes to ice cream, that low price tag comes at a real cost. Aldi's products are stripped down, overly stabilized, and often lacking even the minimum cream content you'd expect from something labeled ice cream. In some cases, it's technically a frozen dairy dessert, a legal loophole that allows for more fillers, more air, and less of everything that actually matters. It's soft, it's thin, it's quick to vanish, both in the bowl and in memory. These 5 stores have turned ice cream into a marketing tool, a commodity, a product that exists only to hit a price point and survive a distribution chain, not to deliver joy, nostalgia, or satisfaction. But there is another way, and that's where Costco and Trader Joe's stand apart. They haven't forgotten what ice cream is supposed to be. Costco, despite being a warehouse chain, treats its private label ice cream with surprising respect. Their Kirkland Signature line uses actual milk, actual cream, real vanilla. The ingredient list is short, honest, and free from all the stabilizing tricks that dominate the industry. Their vanilla ice cream, for example, is heavy, slow melting, dense with fat content, and rich in flavor. That's because it's made the old-fashioned way. No excessive air, no filler oils, no fake thickeners, just food, and you feel the difference instantly. The scoop has weight, the texture clings to the spoon, it melts like real dairy, leaving that luxurious coating on your tongue that only true cream can provide. It's not just a better flavor, it's a better experience. Trader Joe's takes a different approach, but with the same results. They go smaller, more focused. Instead of churning out endless varieties, they offer a curated set of flavors, each with clearly labeled ingredients and no hidden chemical soup. Their ice cream doesn't rely on stabilizers to force consistency. It relies on real ingredients and traditional recipes. When you try their French vanilla or salted caramel gelato, it tastes like someone made it, not like a machine calculated it. Trader Joe's emphasizes craft. You get small batch textures, deeper flavor development, and the absence of that artificial sweetened aftershock that plagues other brands. And it's not just about what's in the product, it's how it's handled. Trader Joe's maintains tighter quality control, smaller production runs, and better sourcing for their ingredients. Their stores don't overflow with choice, they overflow with intention. These brands are proof that quality doesn't require luxury pricing or fake labeling, it requires principles, and both Costco and Trader Joe's have them. This isn't just about which ice cream tastes better, it's about the broader truth, how the food system is wired to cut corners when no one's looking. Most grocery chains know you're not reading the back of the carton. They know you're drawn in by price, branding, and those indulgent product names that scream premium but hide mediocrity. That's how the system works. Until you stop falling for it, start reading the label, start asking questions. Why does one store brand vanilla ice cream melt naturally while another stays stiff for hours? Why does one brand taste creamy and deep while another tastes like cold sugar and chemical vanilla. The answer is in the formulation, and most of the time, the real difference comes down to just one thing: integrity. Walmart doesn't care if their ice cream is authentic. They care if it's cheap to make. Kroger isn't prioritizing flavor, they're focused on volume. Target isn't preserving food traditions, they're managing product consistency. Safeway isn't delivering culinary excellence, they're meeting distribution deadlines. Aldi isn't elevating your dessert, they're chasing the lowest possible price. Costco and Trader Joe's, they've chosen a different model, one that proves consumers can be treated with respect, that food can still be honest, that even in an industrialized grocery landscape, quality can survive. It just takes awareness. It takes effort. It takes stepping away from the glossy packaging and asking yourself, what am I really eating? And more importantly, why am I okay with it? This conversation isn't just about ice cream. It's about everything that has gone wrong with how we buy, eat, and trust our food. The ice cream you find in the freezers of Walmart, Kroger, Target, Safeway, and Aldi represents a deeper rot in our grocery culture. These aren't just underwhelming products. They're calculated compromises. Each one is a signal that the system no longer respects the eater. It only respects the profit margin. Walmart's ice cream is the clearest example of that. It's not built for taste. It's built for shelf life. It's not made to satisfy. It's made to move units. And that approach leads to shortcuts, artificial stabilizers, processed sugars, and synthetic thickeners, all jammed into a product that used to be simple. It's the food version of false advertising. And when that listeria recall happened, it wasn't a shock. It was a reminder. This is what happens when quantity is prioritized over care. And what's really troubling is that for many families, Walmart is the default. They assume the store brand ice cream is just a cheaper version of something better. It's not. It's a fundamentally different product, one made to trick the senses, not serve them. And then you have Kroger playing the premium game. Their private selection and deluxe lines are dressed up with fonts and gold leaf borders, like they're selling luxury. But once again, the ingredient list exposes the lie. Corn syrup solids, gar gum, mono and diglycerides. This is industrial food science, not craftsmanship. They've made it look fancy while using the same base formula that fills every other corner of the cheap frozen section. And the worst part, people believe it. They believe they're treating themselves. But the texture's thin, the flavor's shallow, and the experience is bland. It's the illusion of indulgence without any of the payoff. Target is no different. You'll find their favorite day ice creams marketed with trendy, cozy aesthetics, fonts designed to feel like a warm hug, but the hug is fake. It's packed with overrun, pumped with air, and designed for visual perfection, not taste. These are chemically calculated products meant to survive shipping, not delight a palate. Controlled rheology, the practice of managing texture through additives, is used to engineer scoopability and melt rates. So yeah, it feels soft, but it also feels empty. There's no real creaminess, no true depth. It's dessert as a spreadsheet. Safeway follows suit with its signature Select line. The name alone suggests careful curation, but what you actually get is bland, heavily processed filler frozen into uniformity. Additives are used to stretch out dairy content. Artificial flavors stand in for actual ingredients, and the entire process is about cost cutting and scale. It's an assembly line pretending to be a kitchen. You might get a clean-looking scoop, but that bite dissolves into nothing. No weight, no texture, no joy. Aldi might be the most frustrating of them all. It sells you the idea of simplicity, of stripped-down honesty. The branding is plain, the tubs are small, but under the lid, it's the same formula. Minimal dairy, maximum filler. It's not cheap and cheerful, it's cheap and compromised. The use of modified starches, synthetic sweeteners, and airy processing ensures a light, fast-melting dessert that hits a price point, but not a craving. And again, because Aldi markets itself as smart, minimalist, and efficient, most shoppers assume they're getting a clean product, but they're not. They're getting the same processed base dressed in a no-frills disguise. What's truly frustrating about all of this is that ice cream should be the one thing we don't mess with. It's a treat, a tradition. It's supposed to remind us of being a kid, of joy, of summer days and birthday parties. And yet all 5 of these grocery chains have turned it into a hollow product, one where flavor takes a backseat to logistics. Now contrast that with Costco and Trader Joe's. Costco's Kirkland Signature ice cream doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It is what it says on the label. Real cream, real vanilla, real sugar, no fluff, no filler, and when you taste it, there's no mistaking it. The density is real, the richness is unmistakable. It coats the tongue, lingers with flavor, and melts slowly because it's made from actual fat, not chemical stabilizers. Costco doesn't need to lie. They've built a product on transparency, and it shows. Trader Joe's goes even further with flavor integrity. They've chosen not to flood the freezer aisle with 100 fake options. Instead, they offer a few products, and they make them count. The ingredient lists are short, the sourcing is clear, and the flavor profiles are real. You're not getting syrup-flavored fudge or strawberry that tastes like candy. You're getting something that resembles a real dessert, made by real people who care. Trader Joe's ice creams aren't designed to last on a shelf for a year. They're designed to be enjoyed. That's the difference. These two stores are proof that better options still exist. You don't need a local creamery or an artisanal shop to eat real ice cream. You just need to stop falling for the marketing and start supporting the brands that still believe quality matters, because food doesn't just feed us, it teaches us what we deserve. And right now, these 5 chains are teaching you to settle, to accept less, to stop asking questions. So start asking, start expecting more, flip the carton, read the label, taste with purpose, because when you've had real ice cream, when you've had actual cream, sugar, eggs and flavor, you know the difference. And once you know the difference, there's no going back. If this opened your eyes, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment with the worst ice cream brand you've tried, or the best hidden gem you've found in a freezer aisle. Share this with the person in your life who still thinks deluxe means anything, and hit that subscribe button, because the truth about what we eat doesn't end here. This is just one aisle. There's a whole store full of stories we're going to tell.